May we approach? Of course.
Hi, Mike. How are you?
Good. How are
You
you?
should have let us know. We would have hit you first, you know? I didn't realize you were here on an errand.
Being patient. Come on. This is holding fun.
Good morning, Mr. Fontenot. Sir, you're charged with driving while intoxicated. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
Yes, Judge.
Okay.
On November 17th, 2024, the officer responded to a medical assistance call at a public roadway in Harris County, Texas. Upon arrival, the officer observed the defendant's motor vehicle stationary in a moving lane of traffic. The defendant was asleep in the driver's seat of the vehicle while it was still in drive. The officer observed 3 open containers inside the vehicle in plain view, all of which were cold to the touch.
Drinking while driving?
Yes, Judge, all cold to the touch. And after several attempts at waking the defendant, the officer broke the back passenger side window and placed the vehicle in park. When the defendant woke up, the standard field sobriety tests were performed, HGN 6 out of 6, walk and turn 4 out of 8, one leg stand 1 out of 4. DIC were read, but the defendant refused. Blood search warrant was obtained and executed.
Any priority to BIs?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Fontenot, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with the case. Do you have a Texas driver license?
Yes, sir.
I'm now taking away your privilege to drive. You're not allowed to drive for the foreseeable future. Do you understand? And I would hope that you recognize it's elementary that you're not to have alcohol in the car while you are driving. If I find that you consume alcohol, if I find that you use illegal drugs, I will put you in jail. You will not get any more PR bonds. You will be signing an affidavit with me today promising me you're not going to drive. And I don't care if Jesus needs a ride to church. You get into a car and drive, I can have a contempt hearing. You can be facing up to 6 months in jail and a $500 fine every time you drive. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Mike, when I know that he appreciates the awesome power and privilege it is to drive, I will allow him to drive. But until that point, and you coming up here telling me, oh, I've learned my lesson, means nothing to me. Actions speak louder than words. Heed this warning. You will not get another one. Do not drive. Do you understand?
Particularly the court wants him to do to demonstrate that.
I don't know, you know, creativity goes a long way, but I want you to appreciate what it is to be able to drive. Living in a city as big as Houston without the ability to drive blows. Do you understand? And I want you to appreciate that and understand that. I'd like a little bit of time in the past, you know, a little creativity goes a long way, but you know, how old are you, sir?
He's 19.
You're 19 years old. What are you doing with yourself these days, Mr. Fontenot?
I currently work in Conroe. I'm a diesel mechanic. So
He's employed full-time and he's never been in trouble. It's just for what it's worth.
Did you graduate from high school?
yes,
You need to understand that your life is just now starting. And what you make of your life now, it's like, it's a road, right? That you're building in your life now. That road can be smooth, it can be glorious, paved in gold, or it could be a chunky, rocky piece of crap pot, just cobbled stone that are filled with holes because you're in and out of jail. Just, you're setting yourself up for the next 40 years of life. And if you end up in and out of jail with conviction after conviction, with drug problem after drug problem, it's not a good way to go through life. This life is about money and it's about this. Do you understand? And I want you to appreciate all this. And when I know that we do, then you and I can talk again. Above all else, do not consume alcohol. You have a lawyer. Because you have a lawyer, I will waive your appearance. It is your responsibility to stay in touch with Mr. Trent, and he will tell you when you have to come back to court. If he tells me he can't get a hold of you because you're playing games, I will issue a warrant for your arrest. You pick up a new case, violate conditions, don't stay in contact. We're not going to have a good experience here. If you do as you should, then hopefully we'll come out of this unscathed. Do you understand? you have any questions? Okay, all right, guys. I'm gonna have him sign the affidavit. We'll have him go sign a receipt of Victoria. You'll get with Fleischer your bond conditions, and after that, you're free to go.
Judge, please, the court, I'll probably bring him back in about 30 days, just so you can check his
Most
progress.
certainly can. Let's see how things are going. But him coming up here and just saying that I missed my license, I want to see some kind of proactivity, you
Okay,
know?
all right.
All right, okay.
Thank you,
Good
Your
luck
Honor.
to you, sir.
You excused?
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mr. Tran. Morning, Mr. Tovar. Good morning. Sir, you're charged with driving on a suspended or revoked license. You're facing up to 6 months in jail and or a $2,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can or will be used against you. You have the right to have an attorney present. If you cannot afford one, one will be appointed to you, sir.
On November 11th, 2024, officers observed the defendant's motor vehicle traveling with tail lamps emitting a white light in violation of Texas Transportation Code 547.322, which require a red light. Traffic stop was initiated. Officers ran a Texas license plate through NCIC, revealing the insurance to be unconfirmed. Officers made contact with the driver and sole occupant of the vehicle, the defendant. The defendant displayed a Texas ID stating he did not have a Texas driver's license because he had to pay $300 to get another one. Officers ran the ID, finding the Texas driver's license to be ineligible and expired as of December 2020.
All right, Mr. Tovar, I'm going to find that there's probable cause to go forward with your case. I'm going to have you now sign with me today an affidavit. This is a promise you're going to make to me that you're not going to drive. I don't care what's going on in your life. I don't care if you need groceries. A kid has got to go to school. Do not drive. If you don't have a license and liability insurance, do not drive. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
If I find that you drive, I can have a contempt hearing. You can be facing an additional 6 months in jail and a $500 fine every time you drive a car. It's an offense in and of itself, punishable by up to 6 months in jail. If you want to drive, go get a license, get liability insurance, and then we can talk. But until that point, if you drive, it's really just not going to go well for you. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
We're going to reset your case to give you time to hire a lawyer. I'm not going to put any conditions on your bond other than you not driving. I will have you come up here, swear to us you're not going to drive, get you to Victoria, sign a reset, and then you're free to go. Don't drive. Don't. Do you understand? Okay, come on.
Step all the way
So
forward.
we did THA today.
Okay.
And then sign.
You're LeJared McCardle.
Carter,
Sir, you're charged with tampering with a government record. You're facing up to a year in jail and or a $4,000 fine. We're going to do probable cause. You have the right to remain.
THA. He did arrest
Oh,
it
it's-
already. He was just rolled for.
Oh, I see. Got it. My fault. Do you have a lawyer today? What are you doing about that?
court appointed lawyer. I don't know how to sign up to get one.
It's a matter of you Googling or perhaps getting a newspaper and start interviewing lawyers. That's what you need to do. Just because you say court-appointed lawyer, poof, it doesn't magically appear. Oh, there's a lawyer to represent you. This isn't, you need a lawyer to represent you and you need to go out there and hire one. You need to interview one. It's like buying a car. When you buy a car, your first car, you don't go to a Ferrari. You don't go to Lamborghini. Don't go to, well, I'm going to say BMW, but that's you go to a car that you can afford. It's the same thing with a lawyer. 99% of lawyers will put you on a payment plan if you ask. You need to find one that's right for you. Don't take them at first blush. Negotiate the price. You know, like I said, 99% will go down and they'll put you on a payment plan. It's a matter of you going out there and finding them. Do you understand? Okay. You've already been reset at least 1 to 2 times, right? Have you even tried to look for a lawyer?
Out of town work.
Okay. This is now important. You're facing a year in jail. Do you understand? Okay. So we're going to give you time. I'll give you another 30 days. When you come back, please have a lawyer, sir.
Yes, sir.
Client tested positive for THC.
You've literally tested positive the entire time while you have been on bond.
Sir, I haven't smoked since August 25th.
You've tested positive
Is there a way I
October,
could?
August 27th. You tested positive September 30th. You tested positive now November 18th.
And I can obtain the urine sample and I will go pay for it myself to show that it's been a steady decline because I have not smoked, Your Honor.
It should be out of your system. It's been
Heavy smoker.
it's been 3 months. 8, 9, 10, 11. It's been 3 months. When did you test positive? Yesterday?
Yes, sir, Your Honor. I spoke to pretrial services. They reported to me that he did test positive. Client has,
He's done a total of 3 tests, right, Felicia?
Yes, I have one from his first hearing date and then a positive from the 7th of October where he was remanded in custody. And then none since October until yesterday.
I don't know what to tell you, Mr. Houlihan. I guess you just don't take it seriously. I've asked you repeatedly not to. You've tested consistently positive for marijuana. I've told you since day one, do not use, and you continue to test positive. What am I supposed to do?
Judge, if I may, could I get those dates that Mr. Houlihan tested positive again from the pretrial services?
So we have one on 8/27,
8/27/24,
September 30th,
9/30/24,
10/7,
10/7/24.
and now 11/18. I have no choice, Mr. Houlihan. It goes with you. Sorry.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Mr. Dick.
Judge, I've spoken with my client. It appears that he is requesting a hearing, perform a hearing on the revocation of his bond.
Sure, okay. We can set it 3 days. Have a hearing, 3 days. I don't know if you want me to subpoena the people
Judge,
there.
I believe I'm gonna have to subpoena some documentation. I've already spoken to pretrial. I need to get the copies of the results of the lab test.
Whatever you want.
Okay,
Yeah, whatever you want.
okay, how much time? I think about 2 weeks minimum.
Sure. So whatever you'd like. I mean, it's up to you.
Hey, Judge, with all due respect, would you be amenable to releasing him until such time that it has been determined that from a former hearing that is bond?
I've given him time after time, pass after pass, you know? I mean, if we're now 4 times, he's literally continued to smoke weed the whole time while he's on bond.
He has informed me that he is a habitual marijuana user, and I've been doing this a long time.
3 months.
Yes, sir, Your Honor, and with all due respect, during my training as a lawyer, I've come to realize that the amount of use that a person consumes marijuana depends upon how long that particular drug will stay in your body.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
He say he's a
3 months?
habitual. 3 months, 90 days, 90 days, is 14 to 90 days.
That's
of
why we
someone-
normally give people, 40, 45 days to clear their system out. We've given him double.
But he could be, with all due respect, Your Honor, he could be one of those persons that fits in the 90-day range. He could fit in-
Show me literature that says it can stay in your system 90 days. Show
I
me
don't
something
have
that
it
says
now,
that, but
My experience over the years has suggested to me, and my learning and experience for practicing 37 years, I've known to have read documentation to show that for heavy users, marijuana can stay in the system from anywhere from 14 to 90 days. And because it stays in the body that long is because the body can only get rid of so much of marijuana at one time. And therefore, the other marijuana that remains in the system goes into the fat cells of the body. So that's why it can take up to 90 days sometimes for it to dissipate in the body altogether, especially from.
Let's do this. Let's do this. Try to get the results, see where the numbers are as far as, how many nanograms that are in his body. I don't know, but let's take a look to see, have they gone up? Have they gone down? But I'm sure that we can pull everything there and take a look. I can't imagine that if he stopped when he said he was going to stop, it'd be out of his system. In my opinion, I think he's just continued to smoke and he hasn't stopped, and I just doesn't take it seriously.
With all due respect again, Judge, my experience again as practicing the law, the Code of Criminal Procedure 1740, I believe. Code of Criminal Procedure 1740, Section A, Section B. I believe it states that it is upon a hearing that a person's bond can be revoked. If that person respects the law basis saying that in order to revoke a person's bond, that person has the right to request a hearing before that can be.
Just had a hearing. We've had multiple hearings with Mr. Houlihan. I've let him go on multiple times when he's tested positive. But at some point, I have to say when. You can't just continue to test positive and have a good result, Mr. D. And I appreciate your tenacity, but we're already 4 times.
Yes, sir.
If he tests positive in a week, now we're at 5 times. Are we still going to make the same argument? When do we say when? When does it become his actions?
And I respect the request to do what I requested.
Yeah,
earlier.
get all the labs for sure. And you know what? We don't have to take 2 weeks. Take a couple days. Try to get it as fast as we can. Felicia is really good about getting records. It doesn't have to be 2 weeks. We can set it off for just a couple days.
Yes, sir, you are.
Like I said, I'm not out for blood, but I want him to understand that we mean business. We're not,
Yes, sir. Thank you, Your Honor.
Hey,
Judge, how are you?